Welcome to the Archive, Guardian. I am Mimir, an archival mind, tasked with procuring and curating the largest collection of records and data on all things within our universe. I have been given a secondary directive, to share my knowledge as necessary with others. Some parts of these records will be narrated by myself, or other synthetically created voices. Any audio records that we have been able to recover will be included within the documentation. Now that we have our introductions out of the way, I welcome you to today's installment. Document ID 70523. Data recovered alongside the Weir-Walker armor found on Titan.
Day 402. You wear my banner. Xivu Arath, Hive God of War. Sloane knelt, unable to stand. All the weight of Titan's ocean around her was nothing compared to the pressure of Xivu Arath's will pinning her down. A horde of gnashing hive bore lipless smiles around a single taken knight. He stood tall before her, brandishing a gleaming blade that anchored an oppressive terrace of sharpened obsidian. The terrace loomed over their heads. A voice cut through the gnashing, eager-toned like running blood.
Soldier of the sky, your strength wanes, your strategy too obvious. You took without claim, and now I claim you. The sky, drawn to fall once more, pinned by night's blade. Summon your meager light, your sky tether. You are defeated.
Xivu's voice rose from her projection, booming from the black terrace with laughter like screaming fear.
Your bearer needs you, Ghost. Be brave.
Sloane felt needles of intent thread between the gaps in her armor, hook into her muscles, and slowly peel away the power suit's deep-set rivets from inset bone. A violent unraveling to a slow and painful end. Xiuhan watched the torture from rocky concealment, razors extended, waiting for an opportunity to strike. Minutes felt like hours, but Sloane clung to life in a cloud of crimson-tinged mist. Delirium and agony fogged Sloane's mind, but an offer pierced through the cacophony of war. She heard it in her mind as if she had thought it herself. A broken promise.
Bond. Live.
She considered the offer. Xiuhan rushed forward, unwilling to watch any longer, and whirled through a swarm of thrall with her blades. If she could reach Sloane, if she could just cut her free. Xivu Arath shrieked with whetted laughter.
This morsel is mine to consume.
Lances of pure onyx thrust through the sea to impale the little light. The terrace bulged and surged forward, swelling as if to burst. For a moment, Xiuhan believed Xivu Arath would burst through the black terrace herself, wielding a blade in corporeal hand. War's presence emanated with such strength. Instead, a gargantuan serpent crashed through the projection and snatched the knight into its cavernous jaws as it surged by, shattering the terrace's connection to the night. Eruptions of soul fire swallowed the terrace and branched through the methane as the projection imploded on itself. The serpent dove, its enormous form overtaking and dwarfing the crumbling terrace projection. It twisted above them, unfurling a portion of its tail to sweep aside scores of hive with ease and sending plumes of sediment into a thick, obfuscating fog. Sloane collapsed, and Xiuhan rushed to her side, cutting through an acolyte before it could raise its shredder.
We need to go. Get up.
Xiuhan exclaimed, and began stitching Sloane's gushing wounds and mending bones where she could. All around them, the hive fired wildly into the sea, the soulfire pops of their deaths spurring tiny, muted explosions as it reacted with liquid methane. Before Xiuhan could get Sloane to her feet, the serpent slammed down in front of them, belly first, and shielded them from retaliatory hive salvos. Xiuhan darted in front of Sloane, razors ready against this giant beast, but the serpent simply looked at the Titan, its massive eye spanning more than 3 of her, shoulder to shoulder. Once more, Sloane heard the promise in her mind.
Bond. Live.
And so they struck an accord.
Administrator notes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the Administrator. I'll be providing insight and analysis for today's document. At the opening of this log, we are submerged straight into the action. Sloane seems unable to move as she is being held in place by Xivu Arath's will. Xivu Arath claims that Sloane took without claim. This is of course a reference to the sword logic, which is centered around the belief that you may only lay claim to that which you are able to take. Of course, this extends to life itself. If one is not able to prove themselves capable of claiming existence, then their claim to existence is forfeit. Xivu Arath is ready to claim Sloane's life as she is too weak to stop Xivu Arath from proving her claim to existence incorrect. Xivu Arath then calls out Shahan, taunting her that Sloane is in need of her help. Of course, this links back to the conversation between Sloane and Shahan in the last log. Sloane had told Shahan to lay low and out of battle so that she could survive if the battle got out of Sloane's control. As Xivu Arath starts to rip and tear the power suit from Sloane's bones and body, Shahan dives in with the blades on her shell deployed. As if on cue, the Leviathan dives into the fray as well and single-handedly dispatches all of the surrounding hive. During and after the fight, Sloane is met with another telepathic message, similar to the first. Instead of requesting that Sloane takes in order to live, it requests that she bond in order to live. It is quite clear that this is the Leviathan thinking to her and offering her a telepathic bond in order to assist her with the mission. While these logs seem to jump around the timeline quite quickly, it's clear that Sloane faced many troubles in Titan's depths while the Witness was scouring it for information. We aren't exactly sure what it was looking for, but here are a few possibilities. As we saw during the fight over Neomuna, it was looking for the Veil, a paracausal object that seems to rival the power of the Traveler, although through different means. The Witness could be looking for other objects or entities it might find useful during its mission. Most notably, it could have been searching for the Leviathan Asa, which is presented here heavily. Asa has knowledge and power that has proven useful to the Vanguard as they have worked with her and Sloane on Titan. In fact, as of recent report from the Vanguard, Asa was able to reveal the origins of the Witness as well as lead us down a path to follow it through the portal opened through the Traveler. A last option would be that the Witness was looking for the body of Oryx, the Taken King. I think this is extremely unlikely given that the hive that the Guardian fought on their expedition to Titan's depths seemed to be part of Savathun's Lucent Brood, currently commanded loosely by First Ghost Imaru. This brood is completely opposing the Witness's forces. Of course, with as little information as we have available, it's hard to be sure what the true intentions of the Witness were in taking Titan for study. Luckily, the Vanguard have been able to procure more information to assist in the hunt for the Witness. As always, while most of this information is considered concrete, some of it is speculation and subject to change based on newly discovered records.
End of Administrator Log. Thank you for viewing this archive, Guardian. Please check back regularly as more documents will be released in due time. If you have anything to note, please leave your own log in the comments below. All input is appreciated.